a little video package, of course, because that's what we've been seeing recently when it comes to this little feud. Um, they showed Rey Mysterio in the New Day at a NASCAR event, and they were verbally accosted by the Judgment
Verbally
Day. And
accosted.
my favorite thing of the entire segment
Yeah.
was when when Dom came up and he was like, "Oh, hey dad, like what are you doing? Just hanging out with an old guy in pajamas?" And I was like, "What?" Like that was like his opening line. Like that just made me start laughing. Like I'm like I don't think he was meaning for that to be funny. Maybe a little, but I was just like it's so and then the guy gets in his face like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Um so they go back and forth, and Ray kind of does step up to Dom, and that's the first time that we've seen that, because every other time it's been like, I'm not going to touch my son, I'm not going to lay hands on my son, like I love you, you're my son, blah blah blah. So because they exchange words, they then race. Ray wins, and Dom immediately says, "If mommy was here, that this would have been different." I'm not sure what that means, or how she could have made it different,
You can take that any
but
way you want.
yeah, but I do think that this might have been a little bit of a lead up, like a little bit of a, this maybe the foundation, a little bit more of the foundation, maybe some of the drywall or the framing of the walls
Mm-hmm.
for the Rey Mysterio versus Dominic at WrestleMania.
I mean, that's what they're absolutely building towards, and
But
I
I felt
really
like
hope
this
they
was the
open the show
first
with it.
time that we've seen it in several weeks.
It is the first time. I really thought they were going to fight at the Coliseum. I thought they were going to fight in a racetrack. That would have been awesome. But my favorite thing with this segment was we're starting to see a little bit of a shift with like Ray's not doing the talking. It's Dom. He's
Mm-hmm.
taking the lead and taking that next step of his career where he can establish himself on his own. He's been a tag team with his dad for God knows how long now before Judgment Day. Comes into Judgment Day, he's still, being groomed a little bit. And now he can, prison really did him well.
Yeah.
If to put it in a phrase. But that's what I like about this is that we're seeing him just be this asshole kid, which he's good in the ring. He needs to just work on his mic skills, and this type of shit is going to help. I'm just ready for the opening match of Mania to be them two fighting in Hollywood to go full circle with Eddie and Ray opening up the show in Hollywood. It would be a real special moment for everyone,
Yeah.
not just the families involved. So, I just want it to be built up correctly.
Yeah, I do too, because it definitely has that big match feel. Very iconic match. And I feel like I wanted to ask you, do you feel like this could be one of the biggest matches ever? Because when have we seen father versus son in general, or even at Mania? I mean, that's something that I don't think that we're going to see very often. And if they can do that, and that's a thing too. Dominic has like nuclear heat. And
Nuclear.
he doesn't even have to really do anything. He just like stands there and he gets booed. Ray is the complete opposite. He can be gone from TV for weeks or years, and his music hits every single time the crowd is on their feet. So it has the foundation
Potential.
of like amazing match that we all look back on from years from now. But what were you gonna say? Have we seen a father versus son before?
We have Sarah. Uh we have, except it's not like it's pretty predictable. It was Vince and Shane
Oh, that's right. Okay,
got
but I'm
into
talking
it.
about like legitimate wrestlers that was like not, because I know that I think they kind of teased a little. Wasn't there a little bit of a tease with Randy and Cowboy Bob Orton? There was kind of some drama there, or you know, Cody and Goldust were having something and Dusty was involved. So like there was a little bit, but we knew that those matches were never going to actually happen. So
Yeah.
I think this would be like the first time where it's actually father and son competing against each other on the biggest stage.
Imagine Cody versus Dusty.
Huh?
Imagine Cody versus Dusty. I'm just thinking about it. The American Dream versus the American Nightmare.
I know, but he would never be the American Nightmare if I don't know that he would be had his dad still been here. Because I think a lot of it was like he was trying to stay away from being compared to
Oh, we
Dusty.
didn't like the compare.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's why I think was part of the problem for him too was if we're getting all a little psychological, um I think that's part of the problem with a lot of like second generation stars who had a parent that was super iconic and legendary. It's very difficult for them to step out of their parents' shadow, but some of them can kind of navigate it well. But then I think with Cody, it was like he was trying to steer so far away from it that it became more of a problem instead of him
yeah.
just embracing part of it, because him doing the American Nightmare thing, that's its own thing. Because
Oh,
a lot of the people
absolutely.
who are big fans of Cody now, they don't really know much about Dusty or that he was the American Dream. So they don't have like the constant like, oh yeah, that's why he has that name. You know what I mean? So he
Yeah.
kind of created his own thing, but off of his dad's nickname, which I think was a brilliant idea. Whoever came up with that, if it was him, if it was his wife, collaborative effort, I don't know, but good
Kind of a
idea.
bummer.
Yeah, he's just a common man. I always sing that. It always gets like stuck in my head. I don't know